Hi, Jeroen. Thank you for coming out of the master control room to talk to us.
Thanks. Thanks for having
See,
me.
you grew up in Holland, and
Yeah.
I can only imagine that these northern countries have some beautiful Christmas traditions. But what was it like for you, Christmas in Holland as a child?
Well, I come from a rather small village, 5,000 people, and yeah, the funny part maybe is that in Holland it's not really a Catholic country. So even where I come from, there were in the village there are like 3 churches. 2 are Protestants and 1 is a Catholic church, which was a very small church. And actually, from the outside, it doesn't really look like a church. It's like a square box kind of with a cross on it. And since it's small, when there is the Christmas celebration in the evening, it would be too small. So there were a lot of the church would be packed, and a group, and usually also the children, and then even myself at times, I would find myself in a little room next to it, like adjacent to the main space, from where you had like a special view on the whole celebration, and you could look through the choir to the priest, and from a certain angle you could even look in the church.
Wow.
And maybe I would see my parents keeping an eye if I would behave, and I remember as a child it was always very nice because it feels like being more protagonist in a way, and it was like a privileged spot.
Yeah, privileged location in the center, almost in the heart of the actual celebration.
Yeah, and it happened only in these rare occasions, right?
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
What other kind of traditions did you have? Are there any special Christmas foods in Holland?
Well, I remember that after the midnight mass, in Holland during the winter it's even cold, just like in Canada.
Right.
And we would go home and my mother would prepare, we call it in Holland bisschopswijn. I think it's known even here in Canada. It's like red wine that you heat it up a little with an orange inside and some cinnamon, and that that would really sign the Christmas evening. And then we have these special Christmas loaves. Yeah, and of course, and a nice thing, typical maybe in Holland, is that the houses, we have lots of open windows and without curtains. So when you would walk back from church towards home, you pass all these houses and you can look inside. So you see all the different nativity scenes of the different families. It's always, I remember that you could see how other people would, put the tree, what they would do in the evening.
Right, how other families celebrate.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's nice.
And then you grew up and you moved around a little bit and you joined the Focolare movement. Yeah. And now you're here. And how do you celebrate Christmas now here in Canada with your Focolare family?
Yeah, well, of course, it's true that these experiences as a child, they evolve, you hope, right?
Yeah.
And I think even now, this sense of being protagonist in a way, like I try to carry that on. And even where I live, Jesus, he promised, he said, where there are 2 or more united in my name, I will be in their midst. And that's kind of Christmas, right? That Jesus can be born amongst us. And I think that even where I live with the others, we try to make sure that the conditions are there so that Jesus can come, by creating an atmosphere of family. With Christmas evening, we just, sometimes we have people over, that we prepare a nice meal, we exchange gifts, and that's something that I introduce really. It's to specialize a gift, we would make poems for one another, or another kind of story, just to create like a nice evening together, and hopefully with the presence of Jesus.
Yeah, well, that sounds wonderful. It sounds like you really managed to carry traditions forward and carry the heart of those traditions forward into your Canadian life.
Yes, we try.
Thank you so much for sharing your Christmas with us.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks.